So the Royal Château de Blois has a bit of an identity crisis. It looks like 4 separate castles in one. Château de Blois started in the 10th century. Joan of Arc came to Blois to be blessed, and counts, dukes, kings, several Henris, a couple of de Medicis, and Francis I all lived or visited the royal castle.
All of the 7 reigning kings in the 16th century resided here on a temporary basis. So it's undoubtedly the chateau where the court was the most often present in the Loire Valley.
And some of those royals even did some redecorating, including a rather prickly one. All throughout the chateau, you will see not a bear, not a lion, not even a fairy tale unicorn. Instead, you will see a porcupine. Why is that there? Well, it is because Louis XII adopted the porcupine as his own personal emblem. Seems a little strange, but think about it. A porcupine can throw his own quills out at the enemy. So the idea here is don't get too close to the royal power, and enemies better stay away. This was all part of the Order of the Knights of the Porcupine. Other orders of this time period included the Orders of the Yellow Ribbon, and the Orders of the Belt of Hope, and the Orders of the Broomcod. What the heck is a broomcod?
Yikes!
Now, onto a bigger curiosity. Where can you read the history of 4 great epochs of French architecture from the 13th through the 17th century, all by standing in one courtyard? Well, right here at Château de Blois. The first castle began in the 9th century, just a simple fortress to protect from Vikings. Only a few remnants of that castle remain, but the 13th century expansion is still here and is still glorious. This is the magnificent Salle des États Généraux, the largest and oldest civic hall in all of France from the 13th century. And this, of course, is where the kings and queens would hold their magnificent festivities. And as you can see, all along the ceiling, we have the magnificent fleur-de-lis, the sign of the French monarchy. The next wings are from the 1500s, Louis VII's Gothic wing with that brick facade and, of course, his equestrian statue and porcupine over the entrance. And Francis I's Renaissance wing, said to be inspired by the architecture of the Vatican. And in the center is the grand spiral staircase.
You could walk out to the balconies, see what's happening in a busy courtyard, and like a theater setting, especially see who's in the staircase.
That's very important. Okay, so some royal secrets could be overheard here, but King Francis also added a royal library and this room called the Chamber of Secrets, long before J.K. Rowling wrote a book called that.
It's the only royal study in France that's kept its original woodwork.
Amazing.
So you've got 237 panels here. They were referred to as a cabinet à secret, which means 4 secrets, if you'd like. So when the king would come here, for example, with an ambassador, I'm going to show you part of my collections, and you would come into an empty room, and where are the collections? You'll find them, they're in the walls, but you have to find the access.
Oh my gosh, little secret panels. Legend has it that this is also where Catherine de Medici would hide her poisons. But there was nothing secret about the 4th and final wing of Château de Blois.
In the early 17th century, Louis XIII's brother Gaston of Orléans had a rather important project in mind to totally rebuild the chateau.
Why completely rebuild a perfectly good castle? Well, you know how kings can be. But Gaston's greed got the better of him. When the future Louis XIV was born, Gaston was no longer heir to the throne, so he lost his fortune and his big castle project went unfinished. And today, it just adds to the incredible 4-part French history lesson that is the Royal Château de Blois.